Good evening and welcome back to SAFC Fan TV. We've been away. We've not been away on holiday. We've just sort of been away. We've just had a little rest. Good to be back. And of course, the Euros are now just around the corner. So with myself, we Philly tonight, we have Conrad Lee back in the building. Have you had a good day, Conrad? What's been happening?
I had my first vaccination today, so I've been asleep for most of the afternoon, just going, feeling sorry for myself. But no, all good. And then England helped put me back to sleep again, so it's all been fun.
All right, there you go. Obviously, you're at that age where you're at the vaccination. I can't even say it. Jacob, down south, is it sunny down there?
Yeah, very hot. Just come back from five-a-side, canny game, and I'm looking forward to tonight. But shame the England game let me down, really, with that performance, to be honest.
Right, well, the England game might have let you down, but not as much as you let us down, obviously, stating that you go and play five-a-side with your London pals, but you was up in the northeast.
Apologies.
You was up in the northeast when we played five-a-side this Wednesday, and you obviously didn't want to come and play with us, but, you know.
I was miles away.
Yeah, well, Terry said he would have given you a lift. Anyway, speaking of five-a-side.
I was getting hammered in Durham, that's why.
We're not interested in what he was getting done in Durham.
Cheers, Michael.
Speaking of the five-a-side, on Wednesday when we played, there is one panel member who did score a brace. That is the Mad Mistake, got 2 goals. How you doing, Terry?
Champion. I did miss a few sitters, mind. I tried to place the ball in the corners. I kept putting the ball round the wrong side of the goal. And Mr. Philly made a couple of good saves as well. But I'm doing great. I've had a good 45 minutes sleep. Well, stroke 85 minutes watching the England match. The most boringest. Never mind Sunderland. This England match I've watched tonight was the most boringest game of football I've ever seen. And Jordan Henderson missed a penalty. So I feel revived. I feel rejuvenated. I feel alive now. I've had a good sleep.
Right, fair enough. All the ladies love him and they're glad to see him back. They've missed him. Super sexy Bowers back in the building. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing all right. I'm full of a nice Toby Carvery, so I'm nice and content now.
Right, fair enough. Michael's at his dinner, so Michael's a happy man. Don't forget, we are live, which means you can join us on the live chat. We are going to discuss England coming up in the Euros and stuff like that as well. So if you want to join in, if there's anything you'd like to ask us, please do so via the live chat. We'll try and include you. Already, we've got to give a shout out to Colin Major in there, Acacia Cameron, Jude, Lauren Kenny, Kev Flavin saying hi to everyone. Mick Griffiths there. Leighton Jordan. Woohoo! Leighton comes along and cheers us on at the five-a-side. So hello to you, Leighton. Andrew Robbins, the serial online shopper, also says that football's coming home. Rough as a Badgers. Evening, chaps. Right, well, what I want to do before we start on England, I want to talk about Charlie Wyke. All right, and the question is, why is he not in the squad? Is not really the question I was going to ask. We've had a bit of information on Charlie Wyke. Michael's got an excellent source, and he put something in our group chat. Go on, Terry.
I've got a question for Michael. Oh. What sauce and did you slam in the lamb for your Toby Carvery?
Oh my God.
Love it.
Oh,
did you slam in the lamb? Did you slam in the lamb or was it beef?
All 3, wasn't it?
No, I had neither. I had turkey and pork.
Oh.
All right. Well, hang on.
Strange choice.
Quickly, before we go about that, we'll go about the chat quickly. Rough as the Badgers obviously watched Terry's stream. Terry did a stream of the England game on his channel. And he said it was like a human jukebox. To be honest, Terry's singing was more entertaining than the game. Me and Karen were in the bath, not together. We were just all like, and we were up dancing and all that as he was singing. Andrew Robbins says, Conrad, good to see you back. So we did get a bit of information regarding Charlie Wyke. Michael's the man who passed it on to us. Do you want to tell everybody what's again, it's just a rumor.
Well, which one? Which one? I've ended up passing about 20 bits of information on Charlie Wyke.
Oh God.
Oh well, I thought the one where it's
basically, I think it was. Oh, is this the most recent one, right? Well, basically, there was a picture. I won't try and say too much, but basically, I was part of an Instagram group chat, and we got sent a picture saying basically something along the lines of Charlie Wyke saying to people at the and I think that's the short bread and butter of it. But obviously, I'd got told a while back that the 4 players who offered contracts, McGeady, O'Nien, Human, Wyke had agreed new deals, but these days, I suppose. But either way, we keep hearing conflicting stories on Wyke. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at this point if he's off.
Right. So basically, what we're saying is we've had word through that Wyke is away. He's not signing any contracts or anything like that, and he's away. So just very quickly, I'll pass that around. Conrad, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Sort of indifferent on it, really. I mean, out of 3 seasons, he's scored near enough the same amount of goals as he's scored in this one season. So it's obviously if we were getting the same Charlie Wyke back next season that has been playing this season, I think it's a loss. But there's better out there we can still get. I think. Yeah, we're not. It's not like he's irreplaceable.
Yeah, for me, it's unlikely he's going to have another season like that. It was just one of them things that it went well for him. Just very quickly
the
on the
second half, he started to get marked out of the games anyway, and he didn't score nearly as many as he did in the first bit.
Yeah, Keisha Cameron Jude says apparently Charlie Wyke has taken Sunderland FC off his bio on Instagram. Whether that means anything or not, read into that what you will. Jacob, Charlie Wyke, are you in tears that he won't be with us next season?
Disappointed, I'd say, but I think you have to take into account that even though he has been fantastic for us this season with the goals he scored, if the rumours are true and if his heart's not really in it, it's highly unlikely we're not going to get that same player next season, to be honest. So if he was to go, it would be sad, but to be honest, I'm going to give Ross Stewart the full backing that he could fill in his boots next season. So yeah, sad to see him go, but listen, if he's not fully 100% committed for next season, then yeah, it happens to a lot of players these days. But I wish him all the best wherever he goes. Talk of Borough, Ipswich even as well. So yeah, wish Charlie all the best.
Right, okay. We'll come to you, Michael. But before we do, there's a question for you on the chat from Rough as a Badgers. Says Britannia at Clevedon, Michael.
Yeah, Clevedon was the one that I was at, in case anybody was interested. I don't know if there was a joke there that I missed, but either way, Clevedon was the one I went to.
No, I think you might have been spotted then, Michael, in between your carvery. All right, just very quickly then, Michael, Charlie Wyke, are you in tears that he won't be with us?
Well, if you'd asked me a year ago, not a chance. I would have liked to have kept Wyke, but I do agree with whoever, I think it might have been Phil who said this, that this season for me was pretty much a season where literally everything went for him. And if you want to look at it this way, how many goals did Charlie Wyke score before Ian McGeady came back at the fold? I'm very interested to see how many of Charlie Wyke's goals Ian McGeady actually assisted, because with the way that Charlie Wyke plays, you've literally got to get the ball onto his head or on a plate for him to actually score. Makes us a very one-dimensional side. So for me, this is going to sound really stupid here. Of the 4 players who we've offered contracts to, Wyke's the one I would lose the least sleep over if we didn't keep. And I say that because I agree with Jacob. I think Ross Stewart could be good enough for next. Sunderland should be able to attract a player that might score 15, 20 goals, but will offer more in all-round play and will offer more assists and contribute to the rest of the team. And as a result, we won't be playing one-dimensional. I want to see us play less to try and get the ball into the crosses into the box and win. And I want to try and have us keep it on the deck a bit more. So I'd like to keep him, but I wouldn't be devastated if he left, providing we adequately replaced his goals.
Right, okay, fair enough. Terry, you'll be good that Charlie Wyke's not staying, are you?
The bigger question is Philly, is how did you know that was Rough as a Badgers? I didn't realise when you said he was on my live stream. I was thinking, who the hell's Rufus the Badgers? I thought it was called Rufus the Badgers.
Well, I used to call him Rufus Badgers.
Rufus, yeah.
Yeah, but then he pulled me up and of course it's Rufus. That's what it's supposed to be, in it. Rufus Badgers.
But I'm dyslexic. I would never, ever in a million years have pronounced that correctly. I just saw him as Rufus. So I do apologise, Rufus. If I was saying Rufus on my live stream, obviously your name is Rufus the Badgers. I know now, but still, but I'm so dyslexic, it's unbelievable.
Rufus Badgers. That's what.
Yeah, but it's a play on he needs a name, doesn't he? So Rufus.
It was Jack with that I swallow bloke.
Oh,
it's rough as a Badger. So I do apologise.
Jacob exacerbated that and all.
Oh,
sorry.
Right.
I won't be calling him. I won't be calling him Rufus anymore.
Well, wait. Before you go any further, he's just commented and it said it's rough as Terry.
Good. I know now. He should have pulled me up before. Rough as. I do apologise, but hello, rough as the Badgers. First time I pronounced your name correctly in my life. Charlie Wyke. Charlie Wyke's leaving.
Here's the definition and make it up as we go along.
Yeah, but I tell you what, Charlie Wyke's leaving. I don't really care, to be fair, to be honest. I wish him all the best, but his heart's not in it. He doesn't want to be at Sunderland, so good riddance.
Right. Well, Charlie can leave. So long as rough as a Badger stays with us, that's the main thing. Right then, let's get on to England. And I know, we're all passionate about Sunderland. And when it comes to England, and England friendlies are renowned for being terrible and boring and stuff like that. And what we've just watched, and the one midweek, it's as it is. However, we've got the Euros coming up, and when it's in a tournament, the whole nation gets together and we support England, and it actually gets exciting. It's the only time I like watching England when there's a tournament on. And for me, I think, I think we've got a good chance. We're at home, for most of it. The semi-finals at Wembley, the finals at Wembley, so could be an omen. The team that's been released, and again, it's only now that I realise that being down in League One with Sunderland, how much. I mean, I don't watch any Premier League stuff anymore, and so I'm so out of touch with a lot of the players. And when I've come to see the England team, I'm thinking, well, I don't know them, and it's because I'm not used to watching Premier League stuff. So the question I want to ask you, first of all, is there any one person who's been left out of the squad who you think should have really been in there? Michael, do you want to start with that?
I'm kind of I've been a bit disillusioned with the Premier League, but I know there's only one I can think of at the top of my head who might feel aggrieved that he's been left out, but I don't know whether I would have included him. That's Patrick Bamford from Leeds, where he's actually had a really, really good season. And bear in mind, first he's trying. Ollie Watkins, I think, was included. Not particularly off the top of my head. I mean, it depends. Has anyone got the list of the 7 players or so that were left out with the provisional? Is it 26-man squad?
Conrad's one in there. I think he's going to help you out.
I was just going to say Watkins was in the 33, but he's not in the 26. It's the same with the likes of, I think, James Ward-Prowse as well was in the 33, but not in the other. Same with Mason Greenwood, but he dropped out.
Is Dominic
Calvert-Lewin
in the 26?
Jay-Lings. Calvert-Lewin's in. He's still there.
Yeah, he played today.
Danny Ings? Had a good game. No, Danny
Ings left out. Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, that's one that I think might be a bit contentious. Because I think he's had a keys going to happen actually. So there you go.
Right. Well, people on the chat are saying Jesse Lingard left out. I mean, me personally, I think I wonder though if Ward-Prowse has not been sort of selected because he's not with a fashionable club, and it's. It was that debate, he's fairly reliable, and you think,
Is reliable good enough though, Philly? Is reliable good enough? I watched him today, and
That's true.
I watched him today, and he didn't pull up any trees for me today, mind.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Michael, your one back in there.
Yeah, well, to counter Terry's point though, could it not be that maybe a lot of these players simply don't want to get what's the word I'm looking for? In fact, the best way I can compare it is Sunderland's game against Northampton. Evidently, in that game, the Sunderland players didn't want to put an extra gut, go that extra mile in case they got injured. I wonder whether England's. I didn't watch the game, by the way, but I'm guessing that for a friendly, you're not going to go the extra mile in case you get injured ahead of a big tournament like the Euros. So I don't know. I think he probably's won based off his last 6 months, because he's had a very good 6 months at West Ham. As much as I hate David Moyes, I can't stand him. But regardless, he's had a very, very good season. He fits the way they want to play. He's been scoring goals. He's been linking up play. The times I have watched West Ham, he stood out. To what Phil was just mentioned there, though, is part of the reason I'm a bit disillusioned with England half the time. It's because if you're a player that's playing for a Southampton or even a Newcastle, for example, you're much less likely to get called up than if you're sitting on the bench every week at Man United, but you're at Man United. Gareth Southgate, when he first came in, was good at avoiding stuff like that. I don't know what he's like recently. That just shows how much I follow England, but that's what I mean. It's like you should be picking it based off form, not who the name is. At least not entirely, anyway.
Right, okay. Just very quickly before I pass it around again, Josh on the chat says Ben White and Godfrey are the 2 of the 7 left out. And Martin Cawthorne says Luke O'Nien off to Luton. I don't know where that's come from, but I thought we'll read it out. It's in there. Terry, anybody left out the squad who you think should have really been in there?
Well, unfortunately, Trent Alexander-Arnold got injured, so I would bring in Lingard. I think Lingard, for me, would be my starting 11. I would bring him in. I would, because obviously Declan Rice from West Ham as well. They link up quite well. I would have those 2 in. I know today's match was a friendly, and we had a lot of the sort of the second team playing today. I thought Johnston today in goal played really well. I thought for me it was the shining light, and out of the 11 players that was on the pitch, didn't put a foot wrong. Did some really good saves, and for me, he's pushing for Pickford's place. But we got players like Foden and Mount to come into the squad, so it's not all doom and gloom. Today it wasn't very good, but we got players that can come in who have been rested because of the Champions League. So for me, the only player I think I would definitely want into the squad would be Lingard, because obviously with Trent's been injured and being dropped out.
Right, so as Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's easy for you to say, has he not been replaced yet?
Not yet. They're waiting until after this match today to see who's available and how
he doesn't need to be. We've got like 3 other right backs.
Right. Yeah. So the thing is, I mean, I was surprised when I looked at the team. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've only got 5 midfielders in there for some reason, and one of them is Jordan Henderson, who's not 100% fit. I mean, that was a bit of an eye opener. I'll pass it back around in a sec. I've got to give a shout out to Marianne and Carl, who have just donated $3 via the super chat. Says, "Hey guys, 95 degrees in sunny Boston, Massachusetts." Round of applause. And once again, we do wish Marianne a speedy recovery, back to full fitness. She's out of hospital. And don't forget, the super chat is available to you if you'd like to donate to the channel. It is purely optional, but all the money will go towards creating more content and helping us to grow our channel. So once again, thanks to Marianne and Carl for donating that. Conrad, anybody who should have been in the team? Squad, sorry.
If I was picking one now out of the gap for Trent, you have to go with either Ward-Prowse or Lingard. But I'm more inclined to go Ward-Prowse, just because, like you said, you've taken 5 centre midfielders. One of them is that was his first game since like March when he played, and he didn't look fit. I mean, of course, he's not 100% fit there. With Lingard, you've got people like Mason Mount, you've got Foden, Grealish, Rashford, Sacco, Sancho, Sterling that can all play in a very similar place to him it's not an exclusive position he's got there. Ward-Prowse, he is good on set pieces, and he's got a good free kick in his locker. I think we needed more right backs. I don't think we needed more right backs. Losing Trent was the worst right back to lose out of the 4 that we took, because he's the one who would give us a different option of attacking down the side. The only one I really miss is Wan-Bissaka. Had a great season. I always think it's harsh that he got left out, but you can't really overlook Kyle Walker, Premier League champion, Champions League final. You can't really overlook Trippier, La Liga champion. You can't really overlook Reece James, who won the Champions League. It's a hard category, but I do think Wan-Bissaka is a great player who, out of all of them, if Wan-Bissaka was there and we were playing like a France where he had Mbappe up against him, I would trust Wan-Bissaka over any of the other 3 in defensively against them. But hopefully we're not going to meet anyone half decent and we can attack teams.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, Paul Aston on the chat says, you don't watch much of England. Why the hell are you commentating? Get a life, guys. Just very quickly, we're not commentating on the game. It's football related, and we're all football fans. And England, as they progress through the Euros, a whole wave of confidence will come over the country, and all football fans will love it and want to be involved in it. So, so this is what we like to do. And Paul, it's up to you if you watch us or you don't. It's all about opinions. Terry?
I watch all the England games. What's you talking about?
I agree with Josh.
Right, okay.
Well, anyway, that comment, to be honest, yeah.
Right. So there you go.
Like that.
Paul, there you go. You can. We thought we'd read your comments anyway. But we all have got lives. Jacob, is there any standout player you think should have been included in the squad?
Disappointed for Jay Linds, to be honest. Jay Linds being Jesse Lingard. I thought second half of the season for West Ham.
Whoa! Hang on.
What?
You're talking about him like your best buddies and all that. Me and Jay Linds like that.
Can't even do it.
Jay Linds. It's Jay Linds for sure.
There we go. Jay Linds. What a boy. What a boy.
Come on, then. Tell us about Jay Linds.
Jay Linds. Yeah, I thought terrific for West Ham. Second half of the season. Be interesting to see whether they can keep him West Ham next season. I think he's been superb. Him being left out, it's a bit weird, the fact that he's been playing games even though he has been left out of the squad. In other names, Danny Ings, I think we raised the debate because you wonder if he's playing for Southampton, just like James Ward-Prowse as well, as that affected him getting called up. This is where also Jordan Henderson, obviously a lot of people have been saying he's been called up, and it's a weird one because of his fitness at the moment. I'm taking into account, I think Southgate's looking at the fact that we are quite inexperienced and fragile at centre-back at the moment, and the lack of experience, obviously, with Harry Maguire, which I think is a bit of a weird one. He's been included as well because I don't think he's fully match fit at all. I think he'll be looking at the fact that Henderson has played centre-back for Liverpool a lot this season. I think that's one of the main reasons he has been included in the end. But yeah, there's a few names as well that is on the list, and it's just going to be weird to how Southgate's going to include them all, to be honest. James Maddison being another one at Leicester this season. He's been a decent player at times, and James Ward-Prowse for his set-piece capabilities. But yeah, was it with 4 right-backs he picked in the end? Weird selection, if I'm honest with you. Disappointed for Trent. I think on his day he can be one of the best right-backs in the world, but Kieran Trippier, he's been phenomenal at Atletico this season. I think he's more than capable of doing a job at right wing back in the system Southgate likes to play. And he's got fantastic crossing abilities, which can be just as good as Trent on his day. So yeah, overall, I think it's a squad that now Southgate faces a massive selection dilemma of who he's going to pick for that first game next week against Croatia. But overall, I'm happy with who he's picked, to be honest.
Right, fair enough. Terry?
Yeah, people are slabbering on about Southampton players and saying, because they're in an unfavourable team. What did Southampton do this season to make these players want to be an England side? What did they do? Southampton went through an awful run of form. So the players must have went through an awful run of form as well. So the players that are in the squad were playing for like Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool teams, even like Leicester, maybe it's Maddison, yes. But these teams were high up there with decent players like Foden and Mount. So the likes of, I'm not bothered that Ward-Prowse never got in the squad or Danny Ings never got in the squad, to be fair. Because Southampton, to me, weren't a very good side this season.
Well, what about Phillips at Leeds and
Grealish?
Well, Leeds has done better than Southampton. Leeds have had a decent season, to be fair.
Ward-Prowse has been one of the reasons Southampton did as well as they did this first half of the season. They were up there in the top 9
and
or 8
Danny
in the
Ings
first
as well.
half of the season. Danny Ings as well. Yeah, they had a tail off in the second half, but they were nowhere near down the bottom. They were just coasting. They'd already done all the work. That was like what was he called for Charlton back in the day? Alan Kirbishley used to get to 40 points by Christmas, and then they take the rest of the year off and stay in the Premier League.
I certainly wouldn't put them in my starting 11 for England.
Well,
oh no, not starting, but in the squad.
Hang on, Jacob. Before I bring you in,
Surely.
well, Terry, how does this? What about Sam Johnson then, who you said had a brilliant game and all that? Do you know who he plays for?
Preston.
West
Brom. So how does he get in then?
Plays for West Brom, who got relegated.
Pope's injured.
But
he went today and he put a good shift in today. He was one of the only players in the England squad today that actually wanted to play in the Euros. For me, there wasn't many players today that put a shift in. They were all pissing about, passing the ball slow. He put a shift in. He made some really good saves. He wanted to get into he pushed to get into the first starting 11, where I thought the rest of them.
But how come he can even get picked? On your theory of, why should a Southampton player get picked? Why should a West Brom player, West Brom who got relegated, get picked? He shouldn't be in there by what you're trying to say.
To be fair, how many good goalkeepers is there in England in the Premier League? How many is there? You got Henderson, you got Pickford,
Nick
you got Pope. But so there's not many. So we've got to have somebody in the squad. And if a young lad comes along, he's not young, he's 28. If he comes along and he puts in a performance, then fair enough.
He can't be included because he plays for West Brom. This is what we're trying to say.
Isn't anyway, about 13 of the 26 don't play in top 6 sides anyway. So most of our squad aren't part of it.
Jacob was one then. Sorry, Jacob, go on.
I think there's better midfielders than Ward-Prowse. That's my opinion.
He's loving it tonight, Terry.
Go on, Jacob.
I think with going back to James Ward-Prowse, I think where people have the debate on this is I think because he's worked his way up through, was it the youth teams with England, working his way up to the senior squad. I think he was a player that, correct me if I'm wrong on this, he played a lot when Southgate was under 21s manager. I think he was one of the key players. Yeah, so I think, and yeah, people are saying you always need that one player who can have the capability to, set pieces can be a big factor late on in games, and James Ward-Prowse can offer that. But at the same time, this is what let us down at the last major tournament, the World Cup in Russia. It's all about the quality, that little bit extra in the midfield when you're not on the ball as well. And I think now it's all about progressing and taking that upper level in the Euros coming up. And now it's going to be a big test to see whether a lot of these players that Southgate has picked or was included in Russia, have they learnt their lesson and have they progressed at international level?
Right, okay. What I want to ask then, there's looking at the groups, right? We all know there's a group of death, right? Group F.
It's right next to our group.
Right. So Germany, France, Portugal, Hungary, which is a group you wouldn't want to be in. Right. So the question I want to put to you, right, is we're in Group D, right? And should we win Group D, right, then we will play the second place team from Group F, which is the group of death, right? So do we want to finish top of our league or finish second? Because if we play second, then we play the second place team in Group E, which is a choice of Spain, Sweden, Poland, Slovakia. So, do we want to win the league? Or do we not want to win the league? Conrad.
In the group.
I mean, this was the same thing that happened at the last World Cup, where it was like we lost to Belgium and everyone went, "Oh, but now we've got an easier run through to the final." And it, as it turned out, we took Croatia a bit lightly, and then we didn't get to the final. I mean, the only one out of Group F I would actively want to avoid is France. That I would just sort of just wait until we get to the group stage. Germany are not the same team they were 8 years ago when they were winning the
They're an aging side, aren't they?
Yeah, they haven't changed and adapted. So the last World Cup, they didn't even get out of their group. And
a lot of their squad's different, I think, now to what it was in 2018.
Yeah, but they've got Werner. Werner can't even. But then Portugal are a bit like us.
Werner hat-trick incoming.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't know, like, you want to win every game, don't you? And you'd rather test yourself against the better side so that if you actually have to come up against one, you've played a better side in a top-level competition. It's why, if you actually look back through our history of England, when we actually face someone half-decent at a World Cup, we usually lose. We don't tend to play the better sides when... It's true. It is. Like,
I agree.
If you look back and look, it's like Portugal twice, Germany again, Italy twice, and Belgium beat us twice at the last World Cup.
Bloody Iceland.
Iceland's the odd one out there. That's the anomaly, I guess, out of that one. But
took Big Sam away.
Exactly. Oh God, yeah, that string of events. I don't know. You want to win every game, don't you? And I don't want to lose to Scotland or Croatia. So just out of pride, I don't want to lose to them too.
Right. Okay. A couple of things.
You're happy losing to Czech Republic then, Conrad?
I'm happy dropping points, not losing.
Right, before we pass this around again, just very quickly, Jeff Holcroft and his blue Spanner man, he's changed his name back, says, on Bauer's internet, we've just won the 1966 World Cup. Yes.
They think it's all over.
Yeah. We got 73 people on the stream.
Hang on my internet, we're still in the Premier League. Get in.
The Premier, no, it's 1966, man.
And we still have no players picked in the World Cup squad. Even when Darren Bent scored 25 in a season, he still didn't get in the England team.
Right.
Picked Emil Heskey instead.
There's no point about England.
I'll try and get in eventually. Well done, lads. Right. 73 on the stream. We got 25 likes. We'd like to hit 50 likes, I think, today while it's an England thing. So if you just hit the thumbs up, it'll take you a second to do so. If you're on a mobile device and you got the live chat open, just close your live chat, just hit the thumbs up. That'll help us. It'll take you a second to do so. And also, if you are watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's totally free to do so, and it will help us out immensely. Just hit that subscribe button. So Jacob, where do we want to finish? First or second? Do we want to avoid
you can qualify in third?
Well, you can, but you can, but to be honest,
it's a right lottery of who's scoring.
Yeah, well,
who made up that qualifying finishing third? I think that is just a load of nonsense.
Well,
that is the only
Jacob
reason
won't be saying
Portugal
that
won the
would finish
Euros.
third and qualify.
Portugal
I would
finished
be
third.
asked, but they won the.
And they won the Euros last time, finishing third with 3 draws in their group.
Right. Jacob, what should we be doing? I mean, there's that thing of getting that momentum of winning games. You win 3 games and you're on that winning run. And you know, people will say it doesn't matter who we get, because if you want to win it, you've got to beat the better teams. But what do you think? Should we be going for top of the league or second? All right, group, as you want to call it. Whatever. Go on.
I've been a fan. I want to see us win the group, to be honest. But let's not get carried away. Even though you could say we're playing Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic, is Croatia the same team they were 3 years ago? There's that debate. But it's 3 tough games. I think the first 2 especially. I know people were saying we're playing Scotland in terms of quality. We're miles ahead of them. The mentalities and the pressure is going to be mounting in that game to get a result at Wembley as well. With, I'm assuming some Scotland fans will be able to get tickets as well. So, yeah, the first 2 group games, it will be tough. It will be very tough. And let's just see how we get on in these first 2 group games first, and then we can assess our easier or so-called difficult pathways after that. But being a fan, I'd want to win all 3 group games. I think you have to go into a major tournament with that attitude. You've got to beat the best anyway to win it. So yeah, that's my attitude going into it.
Right, thanks, Jacob. Just very quickly on the chat, Tim Wolfenden says Henderson made a bit of a fool of himself this afternoon. Don't think Southgate was impressed. And immediately after that, Mick Griffiths says, spot on, Tim. And I don't know if that's supposed to be a joke or not. If it is, then I like it. If it's not, then you should have thought of it. Terry, what do you reckon? Should we be going all out to win, or should we be clever and go for second and have a bit of an easier route through?
What a load of bollocks! You have to win every single match in the Euros, man. If you're going to be the European champions, you've got to win every game regardless. Win every game regardless. And who says we're going to play Germany in the next round? I reckon we'll play Portugal in the next round. I think Germany is shite. They probably wouldn't get in the top. They'll probably come third. Sneak through with third place. We'll end up getting Portugal in the next round. Got to win every single match. Simple as. Every single round's going to be difficult. And if we're good enough, if Gareth Southgate and his squad's good enough, we'll win the Euros. We could go all the way and win it, or we could get knocked out and be flops in the last 16. Could go either way.
Right, okay. Sorry, Terry. I was only putting it out there. DJ Sizzler Watson on the chat says they think Michael Bauer's internet is fixed. It's not yet, which I think is a play on there. They think it's all over. Well, it is now. Is what he's trying to do down there.
Michael's internet's coming home.
Yeah, Michael. Should we be winning every game, or should
no,
we
it's definitely
play
not. It never left. Well, a lot of it is down to England's own mentality. Like if you look at the group stage game, Croatia's actually a decent side, to be fair. So I mean, look, I know you could say it might not be the same team as they were many years ago, but I'll be board game. Scotland, look, it's basically it's an international version of a derby, isn't it? So they're going to be bang up for the game, but we've got to make if we match Scotland's intensity and work rate, we should beat them. Czech Republic, likewise, but at the end of the day, like the others, look, theoretically, if we finish second, then you can theoretically face easier opponents. But at the end, again, if you look at it, could you say that Germany are better than us now? I don't know if their squad's different, but if their squad's the same squad it has been for the last few tournaments, it's going to be aging. What England, without every England's fault, we're going to have a lot more energy and youth in our side. Portugal, yeah, okay, they'll give us a tough game. You've always got Ronaldo to look out for. Yeah, France. It's you probably want to avoid them altogether if you have to. But if you have to play them, you've got to play them. It's just about what application. It's the same thing I say with Sunderland. It's about the application we put in and how badly do these players want to win the international tournament. It's just all about take your chances. I'll be a bit concerned defensively, but just wait and see what happens. You know, things have happened in football. Look at the time Costa Rica won the group. I think it was out of us, Italy, and Uruguay. I'm going to say
Brazil.
Costa Rica would have predicted Costa Rica to win that group. In Brazil, there you go, exactly. And we didn't even get a win in the group stages. So let's hope we do a little bit better.
Hodgesaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, put Harry Kane on set pieces,
corners. Brilliant.
Can I just say that was Gary Neville's decision. He admitted that in an interview with Kane the other day. Because Gary Neville was there as well, Randon.
Oh, man.
Well, Hodgson still allowed it.
Yeah.
Right, okay, just very quickly on the chat, DJ Sizzler Watson says, good show, lads. Going into hospital on Wednesday. Need some luck, lads. Keep fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for you, DJ Sizzler Watson. Hope everything goes all right in hospital for you on Wednesday. Right, okay, so next Sunday, 2:00, England versus Croatia. Where are you watching it, first of all? Terry?
At the moment in the house, doing my live stream on a Sunday afternoon, getting pissed. There we go.
I thought you were saying you're not going around the Winseys.
That's probably a Friday the 18th for the Scotland match.
All right, okay.
But things could change.
Conrad, where are you watching the match?
I've invited a mate round to watch it at mine, but I am still trying to convince him to come to your pub party. The thing up in Sunderland, so I can come to that.
Look at his face after you said that.
I'm
Have I just
telling you.
ruined spoilers? Have I ruined what your plan was?
Well, I am gonna get onto that. But Michael, where are you watching the match?
In the country of England.
On me telly. Sorry, just remembered that from 3 months back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'll probably end up meeting a few mates to go into a pub to watch it. I can't wait for it. I'm actually quite excited.
Listen,
Be careful
Michael,
on your first beer, Michael.
Yeah, Michael, you know what? I don't like you telling lies on here. All right, we know you haven't got any friends. All right,
All right.
Philly?
right. Jacob, are you watching it
Phil, I'm
down
used to
there
him, man.
with all your London mates bringing you candy?
Yes, I will be in London, but we haven't thought of where we're going to go yet. It's
Go to
meant I've
Wembley.
looked. I was unable to get. My name was in the hat, but couldn't get a ticket, unfortunately. So gutted, but is what it
They
is.
probably picked it out and went, him? No, thanks.
No. Any Sunderland fan banned.
Yeah, just no.
Generally.
We know what you're like at Wembley. You're not coming.
Yeah, bad luck vibes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Well, just very quickly, this is a shameless plug. Then for the game, of course, Sunday 2:00 kickoff, England versus Croatia. I'm doing a football show down at Platform 33 in South Shields. It used to be the Rattler. People from South Shields, you probably know it as that. We've had 2 massive video walls put up this week. More screens going outside. We've got all the benches. We've got a massive outside tent. It is all set up and ready to go. I worked down there last night. We give it a dummy run. We had everybody was joining and singing. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely tremendous. The next best thing to actually being at the game. So if you're in the South Shields area and you want to pop down next Sunday, I'll be on stage doing that. CONRAD and his mates coming up. You can meet him. So we might get Terry down there.
Dino
Michael
there.
and his pals might come down. Karen's going to be down there as well. So
Half-time
with her pals,
entertainment.
so you can come down and chat them up. So that is next week, England versus Croatia on the massive video wall. Fantastic quality. These video walls are as well. Superb. So that's Platform 33 for the match if you want to watch it. So let's have a prediction from you. Then, the Croatia game off to a flying start, hopefully. Conrad, what do you think?
My head's saying 1-1. I'm going to go 2-1 to us.
2-1.
Yeah.
Good start. 2-1 to us.
The Sunderland scoreline because carried over to England.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why you jumped in there, Michael? Go on. You give us your prediction.
Buzzing, isn't he?
Okay. All right. Okay then. Okay. I'm going to go for a big performance. England 3, Croatia 1.
3-1. Michael Bowers. Unbelievable. We've already got predictions coming in on the chat. Bradley Young says 2-1 England. Mick Griffiths might nick it 1-0. In case you Cameron Juice, she's going for 2-1 as well. Terry, prediction?
2-0 England, Harry Kane brace.
I was just going to put 2-0 down for myself. I'm going to have to change it now. 2-0 for you, Harry Kane.
Why change the correct result?
Shut up, man. Behave yourself. Jacob, down south, how do you see the game going?
Oh,
You know what? I think it's going to be difficult, and I think we'll make it hard for ourselves. I'm not convinced about us defensively right now, so I think we'll come out with the win, but I'm going to say 3-2 England.
You're going to say 3-2?
Yeah.
Cracking game. Well, I was going to go for 2-0. I'll go for I don't think it's going to be easy. I'll go for 2-1, get us off to a good start. I mean, it is that thing, whereas if we do lose the first game, knowing that, hang on, we've got to give a shout out to Mini Broke 1, who's obviously been drinking, saying 5-0 England. Well, I hope you're right.
I wish.
It's one of them things that if we don't win that first game, the fact the second game is going to be against Scotland. Terry, you want in there, mate?
What sort of mindset have you got, Phil, right? You say you don't want to choose my result, but you go and pinch Conrad's as well. What's going on? I don't get what's going on through your head.
Well, I'll tell you. Let me explain to you, Terry. Are you listening carefully?
Very.
All right. Well, Conrad gets more predictions right than you do, so I'd rather go with Conrad than you. Michael, you want in there?
Your first choice was 2-0.
It was 2-0. First choice was 2-0. But I've decided. I decided.
You were the person. You say that yours is a correct show. You go for Sunderland to win. I'm pretty sure Terry goes for Sunderland to win nearly every single game, and I'm pretty over the last month of the League One season he would have been wrong 9 times out of 10. So, but you know what it is? Remember though, if we don't win the first game, Phil, there's a chance second place is still up for grabs.
Or third.
As me and Jacob said earlier on, Portugal got through on all 3 games.
Oh God! There's an omen in there somewhere.
They won 1 game in normal time of 90 minutes at Euro 2016. They won the semi-final in 90 minutes. Every other game went to extra time or penalties, or they drew.
Well, listen, it's I don't know. I was saying 2-0, and then I thought it's going to be closer than that. So I didn't change it because you said 2-0. Well, Terry, I did change it because you said 2-0. Actually, this second place thing, by the way. What we're talking about is all nonsense. We've got to go for first place. I mean, you all had your say, and I said no, but we've got to go for first place because the simple fact is it doesn't matter. If you want to win it, then you've got to beat everybody. And there is that thing of where if you do get, a Germany or France or Portugal or whatever in the last 16 and you beat them, I mean, how much confidence does that then give you to progress? So I don't know that for me. So on that score, let's pass it around. How far do you think we can go in the tournament? Jacob, do you want to start us off with that?
I'm saying semis. I think we're not quite the finished article yet. I think the main goal, at the moment, is still Qatar 2022. I think there is still missing pieces to the jigsaw, but I'll be overall happy if we get to the semis.
Right, so that's a semi for Jacob.
Yeah, I was wanting to make the same joke.
Oh God! You dare?
No, I can't help.
I mean, fair play to you if you've got a semi. I can only get a quarter.
Oh.
Hey. Well, go on then, Conrad. Well, go on. Go on, Conrad. Then we're going to finish with a semi or a quarter.
I think we can win it. I'm kind of inclined to agree with Jacob saying that this tournament should be warm up for next year's one, because you'd like to think it's most of the same team. So, but I just really don't want to say the sentence. I want to sit there with Jacob in his semi. So I'm going to go for the finals. We're going to win it. We're going to go to the final.
Right. Good news then. Terry, what's it going to be? Where we're going to finish?
It's either going to be we'll get fucking dumped in the last 16 and Southgate gets sacked, or we'll make it to the final. If we don't make it to the finals, for me, I will get rid of Southgate. Not good enough.
Yeah.
Really? Even though we've never been in a final since '66.
We make it to the semis of the World Cup, but we can't make it to the final of the Euros.
Well,
the only if we have a good showing in the semi-final this year and we get knocked out, I might give him the next World Cup just because it's next year. To keep the same team, it'll be the same lot of players, and it's in winter, which might help us for a change.
Listen,
to be honest,
how many years have we been screaming on? It's coming home. It's fucking coming home. Since 1990, it's about time we won a goddamn cup. If we don't win the Euros, we don't get to the final of the Euros, then get rid of Gareth Southgate.
That song came out in '96, Terry.
Terry,
90s.
Right,
It's the 90s. It's the same 90s.
It was
Yeah,
World in Motion. It was World in Motion at Italian 90.
Awful.
Not we're on the ball.
Yeah, not that one.
Exactly. All garbage. Since
What do you mean they're the two
1966.
greatest songs
Since
of all time?
1966 is that's when a major world last cup. And I'll probably be dead before we win another cup. So we have to win a cup soon. And with the squad we have with Mason Mount and Ford and all these talented young players, if we can't put it together now under Gareth Southgate, then sack the bloke, get somebody else in.
Right, okay. I think it would be. I think, to be honest, you're right. The fact that the World Cup is going to be so soon after, even if he doesn't do well in this, it would be. I think it would be silly changing it. But
what's Gareth Southgate ever done? What's he ever done?
He's won a league.
If we don't do well, this. What's he done? What's his profile?
Do you not think Gareth Southgate did a great job in the World Cup?
Exactly. So we should have progressed. We should be getting better, not going backwards and regressing.
Right, okay,
if we don't do any better in the Euros, we won't get any better next season, will we?
But who's to say we won't progress, because this is now the next tournament after the World Cup. So Conrad, you want in there?
Gareth Southgate, the best thing he's done is actually get us all back behind the England team, because for about the 4 tournaments beforehand, no one cared where we were going. Everyone thought, well, we're rubbish. We're coming home anyway. And at this World Cup, we're not that coming home. We're coming home as in on the first plane, not with the trophy. And then the last one, we didn't expect to go anywhere. Yeah, we didn't play great. I mean, I know we smashed Panama, but we limped past Colombia. We beat a poor Sweden side. And when we faced Croatia, they beat us, but you just beat what's in front of you. That's all. So if he does the same thing again, yeah, like Jake said, we lost to Belgium twice when they played us. So tactically and as a side, no, we didn't get any better. But he got us back behind the team again. I loved that summer in 2018. I thought, because it just that sort of like thing that we were going to win. We weren't, but it just felt like that we were on the side with them, and it was our team again.
That.
Yeah.
Right, Terry. Then we'll go to you,
Blue
Jacob.
waistcoats galore.
Conrad, that's why I predicted England to win the Euros.
I think we should. I think we should too. I'm not sitting with Jacob in his semi anymore. I'm in the finals with you, Terry.
Right, Jacob
And
in his
that's hard on in the finals.
Jacob in his
Oh dear.
Jacob in his semi in London. When he was wondering, Jacob.
I think what Southgate's basically done is, with a lot of the players that we've got in the squad, I think he's created this enjoyment amongst the squad that you should feel proud of playing for your country, and like the pressure should be eased off a little bit. Play with more freedom rather than playing with like the pressure mounting on your shoulders. And also the main problem we had before,
Mason mounted on the shoulders.
Not a bad joke there, Conrad. I accept just about. I think particularly when we had the golden generation of England players, I think there was a lot of like feeling in the back of their minds against playing against like club rival players, and like not trying to pick up injuries. Also, I think that played a massive factor going into the start of their following season. And there was a lack of spirit in the dressing room as well. I think the Man United players who were picked, there was an interview with Mickey Gray, highlighted this on a podcast, where they would like to isolate themselves and be in their own little group of like 5 or 6 different groups and not all coming together as one. I think Southgate has changed the mentality of that, like with like the club pressures. But I do sort of agree with Terry a little bit in a way. I think now's the time where we need to start seeing progression after that World Cup and going to that next level. And only time will tell whether these players have learned, the ones that did play in 2018, have they learnt their lessons from the last World Cup in terms of progressing themselves as footballers at international level. We'll soon find out. Roll on the Euros.
Right. Just very quickly then. Someone asked, well, it was you, Terry, what's Southgate actually done on the chat. Derek Hutchinson says he missed the penalty in 96, if that's any good for you. DJ Sizzler Watson says, let's hope Jacob doesn't go to Soho with his semi.
I thought you'd read that one out. I thought you wanted to read out.
whatever. I don't know what he means.
I haven't been back
That's
to Soho in about 2 years.
all. All right,
You're not
okay.
allowed there anymore. You're on a register now.
Yeah.
Hey, we can't be dipping into that territory.
Yeah.
Michael,
Apologies, everyone.
Yeah,
Apologies.
sorry.
how far are we going to go with this joke? I mean, how far are we going to go in the Euros?
Has Michael got a semi now?
Oh, Jacob.
Stop trying to pass
Oh,
stop passing the
Jacob.
semis around.
We're trying to do it like as innuendo, not
Honestly,
direct.
honestly, we have the joke.
Jesus.
We have the swallowing joke with Jack on the live stream, and then Jacob
Oh,
goes and
God.
mentions it, and then he mentions.
I
it.
didn't start it.
Oh
I
my
didn't start
man,
it.
Jacob, you
I didn't start it.
don't help
Right.
things, lad. Right, how far? Yes, well, did you? You know, come on. There's video evidence of you reading that out, Mister. Anyway, when it comes to England with this tournament, we've got no reason not to be able to go really far in this. We've got the attacking players to do it. I think defensively we can still be a bit suspect. And obviously the lack of midfielders. You know, it all depends what system we play. It's up to Gareth Southgate to get the best sort of play, to get the players in a system and a way of playing in a complement balanced side. If I'm being honest, I think the minimum we should be expected to get is probably the semis with what we've got.
Semis!
Hey, don't stand up, lads.
We'll either get to the quarters of the semis. Fine, okay. Oh, God. Right, just for that joke alone, the last 16s. There you go. Right,
Very good.
seriously, I think we'll probably get to the quarterfinals. And I say the first word.
Right. Right, okay, for me,
No comment,
I think
Jacob.
this, for me, I think this is it. I think football's coming home. I don't think we've ever going to get a better chance. The fact that we got
Go on, Terry.
our three group games are at Wembley. Go on, Terry, jump in then.
As Phil would vouch for this, if all we can expect is a semi, we need some help.
How do you know? Have you been talking to Karen? Conrad?
Terry, have you
nothing-
noticed that Sunderland's miserable form for club has actually rubbed off on us?
Sorry about that, Conrad. I didn't realise you.
I didn't expect Michael to make that joke, to be honest. It's just that the little bit about England's all their games at Wembley. Well, Germany are playing all theirs in Germany, and Spain are playing all theirs in Spain. So it's only home field advantage for us at the moment.
Right. Well. If you let me finish my point, then, right. What I was going to say was all our group games are at Wembley. However, the semi-final and the final are at Wembley, and I believe there's 3 of the knockout stages are at Wembley as well. So there's a good chance that we could play, virtually all our games at Wembley.
I've had an epiphany.
Go on.
The last time we were in the Euros, a semi-final at Wembley, Gareth Southgate missed a penalty. Who's going to miss the penalty in this semi-final at Wembley? His history repeats itself.
England's future manager.
No.
Yeah, then they'll manage us the next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry Kane will miss a penalty, but he'll score the rebound.
Right. Sarah, you want in there?
Could we be playing the quarterfinals in Rome? Is that right?
That's one of the venues selected, I think.
Yeah, if we win our group and then win our next round, we play the quarterfinals in Rome, and we could be playing Spain.
When in Rome.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting all ifs and buts in it. It depends depends if we finish top of the league or second or even third. Right, just very quickly then.
Can't finish fourth because Scotland are in our group.
We got 45 likes. We just need 5 more for our 50 we was looking for. What I did want to say, I do think this is it. We'll go on and win this. You're all saying about Southgate, what has he done? I thought Southgate did a great job at the World Cup. I think Southgate as well, when he's come in, has been the first manager who sort of picked England players, picked players who were on form, which didn't tend to happen. Players, once they got into the squad, tended to be there, even if they had a dip in form. Whereas Southgate seemed to be the one who would like, if you're in form, there you go, bang, you're in the team. Conrad?
I want to let Terry go first, see if he makes the same point as me.
Go on then, Terry.
What kind of form is Jordan Henderson in compared
Yes,
to
it is
Ward
the
Prowse?
same point. He's been sat on the treatment table for 3 months. Great form.
Exactly. So what's Ward Prowse got to do to get into the side?
He's got to move from Southampton because he can't get in.
He's got to go to West Brom.
So whose fault's that? Whose fault's that, Gav? Whose fault's that, Phil?
That's Ward Prowse.
This bloke who picks players in form. This bloke who picks players in form.
All right.
Correct.
All right, listen.
It's about
Up
finding
until
the best
An injured
team.
man, Terry. How
Well,
weird.
up until Jordan Henderson. All right. And I think that's only happened purely because, well, I'm going to say purely because he's the captain, but then that knocks my argument right out the window, doesn't it? Anyway. Oh, yeah, thanks for
I just
that.
thought I had to put it on.
Right, okay. I don't know. I just feel it's coming on. Definitely coming on. Right, I've had enough now. I'm going to have to go. I was going to ask you, make this quick, because we'll finish with Terry, because Terry will sing it. What's your favourite England song then? Conrad?
World in Motion.
World in Motion. Jacob, you won't even know what World in Motion is, do you? Being your age.
Of course. Yeah, my
All
dad
right,
went
go
to that World Cup, mate. And that's a very good tune as well.
I was
John
1 month
Barnes
old when we
rapping.
lost to Germany.
You've got to hold and do it.
But do it at the right
Oh,
time.
Right
You
time.
can be
You
slow,
can be slow or
or fast, but you must get to the line.
They always hit you and hurt you.
Defend and attack.
There's only one way to beat them. Get round
With a
the
semi.
back.
So is that your favourite then?
first.
Yeah.
Is
that's
that your
it.
favourite?
Yeah.
Michael, what's your favourite?
Don't particularly
Yeah, I know.
have one.
Just say 3
You
lines.
don't have one, right? All right. Well, just very quickly, because we are wrapping this up. Rough as the Batches says this time, which was a good one. DJ Sizzler Watson must have been watching Terry's stream because he says 10 German bombers. Do you still not know what 10 German bombers is, Terry?
I don't think
Yeah, I just didn't want to sing it.
All right, you didn't want to sing it. It's something.
Bombers.
Nah, we shouldn't.
Right,
it's
okay.
not-
It was the only thing
No.
more boring than the England match.
Let's,
right,
let's move on from that.
So,
Can we do Dizzy Rascal and James Corden?
That's a banger, that one.
shout.
Shout.
Terry's gonna sing his favourite England song.
It's happy hour again and again and again. Happy hour again. When we win the Euros, it'll be happy hour.
That's not
Happy hour.
That's not an England song, is it? All right, okay.
It is
Okay,
now.
it's coming home. It's coming home again. It's always bloody coming home. Hopefully this time it will.
Right, okay. Well, that just about wraps it up on a Sunday.
Well, of course I do. England players always come home.
Exactly. We're now.
Back
First
home.
plane.
They'll be thinking about us when we are far away.
Right. Right then. It does wrap it up from us. Don't forget, the England game, England-Croatia, will be live on the video wall. Video walls, by the way, there's more than one. Platform 33 in South Shields, also known as the Rattler. It used to be called the Rattler. There's room for 1,000 people easily where the tent is. We've got all the benches out and stuff like that. So if you want to come and get the atmosphere, we are doing a show on there. We'll get you singing all the England songs and get the atmosphere right. I'll be down there. Karen will be down there. Conrad and his mate will be down there. Jacob's travelling up from London. He'll be there. Michael and his friends are going to be there. Terry is doing a live stream on your channel, are you, Terry?
Will you be there?
Where's the Rattler? Is that down by the beach?
It is right on the beach. Lovely. And it's going to be 21 degrees next Sunday. So cracking day for it. So we'll be there. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. As the Euros progress and everybody gets behind England and it all gets exciting, we will be on again. Just don't ask us what state we'll be in. So thanks very much for joining us. So from myself, wee Philly, from Conrad Lee, here's a wave, Conrad, good man. From Jacob down south, from the ladies, just love him, super sexy, Michael Bowers, gives a wave, Michael, good man, and Terry, who sang us out, the Mad Mistake. Don't forget, the Mad Mistake will be on his channel doing live streams of, well, any game what's on, every game in the Euros, probably. Is that right, Terry?
Will you be doing the Ashes later this year, Terry?
The Ashes? Oh, could possibly do that, yeah.
Italy, Turkey on Friday, first opening game.
Yeah, get that
I fancy
one.
the one. I fancy, was it Germany versus Hungary on Saturday? Is it that right? Or was it Belgium?
Russia on Saturday.
Belgium and Russia, that's it. Belgium and Russia. That's a good match.
For Belgium.
Right, okay. So if we've got any Belgian or Russian fans, tune in. Yes.
I have any bets? Any bets for the Euros? What do you fancy?
Have you got Will Grigg to be the top goal scorer in this as well?
James Ward-Prowse gets his way into the squad and gets assist.
I was thinking, I'll tell you when we come off air. We've got a predictor. I'm doing a predictor. So if you just want to be in it, but I'll tell you about that off air. Otherwise, everybody's going to want to join, and we've only got so many places. Right, lads, we're going. I've got to take my dad out for a beer. Right. So we'll see you. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. See you. Bye.